You absolute piece of shit. I've just put the belt on you and you have decided to quit. You absolute mother. You, Sid Justice, are a Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is the next edition of our WWF 1992 save where we are going to try to get Jim Powers over. We're going to try to make him as big as Hogan, but we have more pressing issues. As you have just seen, Sid Justice has decided to quit. He's decided to hand in his notice. We have just put the belt on this guy and now he's decided to quit. He has 30 days remaining. So his last match with us will be at Saturday night's main event at the end of this month, which means I have had to rewrite two storylines because we were going to have Savage win the belt against Sid at WrestleMania. We are going to now have to bring that forward. I'll show you that in a second, those rewrites. Colonel Mustafa has also handed in his notice. I couldn't really care about that one. General Adnan, his contract has expired. Haku, that's a shame, actually. I would like to have kept him around. If nothing else, he was tag team partners with the Barbarian, and I didn't really want to lose any tag teams at the moment, but okay, fine. Jerry Lawler has left WWA I take it New NJ's New Jersey. I quite like Jerry Lawler. I've got him on my shortlist, which is why I'm getting news for him. And Marty Jannetty's contract has also gone. So let me show you these rewrites. On the left-hand side is the original plan. On the right-hand side is the new plan now following Sid's resignation, and he's going to walk out on us. So we've had to just change things around a little bit. So the top show, 28th of January, Superstars, we've already taken care of. So originally, with the Savage Ric Flair storyline, we were going to have Flair go over a jobber, probably on Superstars on the 11th of February. And then after the match, he was going to cut a promo on Savage. We were then, the following week, going to have Jack Tunney announce a match at Saturday night's main event. Savage was going to then beat Flair. And then, Savage was going to beat a jobber. And then post-match, Flair and Mr. Perfect were going to beat him down. Then at Saturday night's main event, Savage was going to beat Flair by DQ. Then at the next Superstars, Flair says he was disqualified in error. The referee made a mistake, and then Jack Tunney was going to make a ruling. I can't actually remember what that ruling was. It wasn't over important. Just probably a case of no, sorry, Rick, but you were disqualified. Then the following week on Superstars, we were going to have Flair and Sid beat Savage and Hogan by cheating. Nothing on the following Superstars, and then the last Superstars before WrestleMania, we were going to have Savage and Sid contract signing, and Ric Flair was going to get involved, and they were going to brawl, and then at WrestleMania, we were going to have Savage over Sid to win the world title. Well, now Sid will not be there at WrestleMania, so we've had to change things up. The first few weeks are roughly the same, but when it comes to Tuesday the 25th of February edition of Superstars, we're now going to have Flair and Sid over Savage and someone else. It won't be Hogan, I don't know who yet. They're going to win that by cheating, and then we're going to have Flair, Perfect and Sid post-match beatdown on Savage. Hogan's going to come in to make the save. So Saturday night's main event, this is where we are now going to have Savage win the belt over Sid, because it will be Sid's last match for us. So yeah, Savage is just going to win the belt. A month earlier, Ric Flair was going to attempt to interfere and thwart Savage's win, but he fails, and Hogan comes to the ring and attacks Flair. We were then going to have the next Superstars. Flair was going to make a formal challenge to Savage for the title, and then the next week, Savage will not back down from a challenge. Of course, he accepts Flair's challenge for the title at WrestleMania. And then at Superstars, Flair says he has a surprise lady in his corner at the WrestleMania match. And of course, everyone's going to be thinking it's Elizabeth. Oh my God, Elizabeth's turning. Is she with Ric Flair? Following week on Superstars, Savage was going to have an interview where he's going to say, Liz only has eyes for me. She would never go into Flair's corner. But then at WrestleMania, we were going to have sensational Sherry turn up with Ric Flair. Sherry and Savage have history, and it wouldn't have been too long ago, really. It would have only been the previous SummerSlam. No, it would have been the previous WrestleMania where they split. So, yeah, a year out, but, there is history there. Savage was going to beat Flair, though. Originally, of course, Savage was meant to win the belt at this show. I'm not having a heel win the title at WrestleMania just yet. So, yeah, we just had to sort of move things forward a little bit. As for Sid Justice and his story with Hogan, well, that's just going to kind of fade away now, really. So, originally, Hogan, we've already done that show where Hogan cuts a promo from his hospital bed. The next week, which is the show we're going to have today, Sid interview as the new champion. That hasn't changed at all. Then we're going to have a 2-week break from this storyline, but now we're going to have on the 18th of February, Jack Tunney announces Savage Sid. Well, it's the same thing, really, because we're going to have Hogan come in, cuts a promo on Sid and Flair after... did I say there that he makes the save? I probably didn't put that in there, but I think I was going to have Hogan come in to make the save here as well on the 25th of February. I know this all sounds a little bit... I hope you're sticking with me on this, but yeah, rewrites are awful. As much as they're a pain in the backside, I actually love doing them because this is what the game is all about. This is real life. This is like a wrestler's come up to me and said, I'm quitting. Oh my God, you're in a major storyline. You're our champion. Got to change things up. So we're just moving things around really with these storylines. I mean, you can probably read there that, we're now having to end the Hogan-Sid storyline at Saturday Night Main Event, but it won't be through a match. It's going to be the post-title match. Sid and Flair are going to attack Savage, but Hogan comes in to make the save. And it's just going to end that storyline. So, yes, it's going to kind of dissolve into nothing, but, oh, well, there we go. Originally, as you can see here, Savage was to beat Sid at WrestleMania for the belt. Hogan was going to distract Sid, and Money Inc. were going to be at ringside as well, supporting Sid because they're now sort of aligned with each other. Well, that's now going out the window as well. This storyline originally was going to end at SummerSlam. We were going to have Hogan sort of drift off for a little bit and then come back, and they were going to fight off at SummerSlam. But yeah, that's all gone out the window. So yeah, they're the rewrites for these two storylines up until WrestleMania. So let's jump into Superstars. We kick off with some pre-show matches, and in the opening pre-show match, we have Hercules defeating the British Bulldog. Now, I didn't choose the winner for these pre-show matches, and maybe I should have done because, yeah, I'd have rather British Bulldog got the win on this one. I'm surprised they gave it to Hercules. I'm pretty sure Hercules is unimportant, and the British Bulldog is at least recognisable. So, yeah, a bit surprised about that one, but we have 48 wrestling, 51 crowd, 55 overall. The crowd are expectant and simmering. And then we've got Money Inc. against the New Foundation. And yeah, Money Inc. get the win here. I thought they would. And it's in 11 minutes 59. IRS pinned Owen Hart with a stock market crash. And we had $1 Million Man was head and shoulders above everybody else. 54 wrestling, 57 crowd, 63 overall. And the final pre-show match, well, thank goodness for that, Randy Savage got the win against the Barbarian in 12 minutes 27 by pinfall with a flying elbow drop. 61 wrestling, 65 crowd, 72 overall. Let's head into the main show. We kick off with The Undertaker and Paul Bearer with Jake the Snake Roberts. You may remember from last week, Damien got a little bit too close to the urn, and that upset Paul Bearer and The Undertaker. So they just cut a promo here on Jake Roberts, and just sort of saying that there are secrets in that urn that shouldn't. There are secrets that shouldn't be. It says here shouldn't be scared. It should say shouldn't be shared. So yeah, Damien got a little too close to secrets that shouldn't be shared. Even I'm doing it now. This is ridiculous. So what is contained in the urn is far more powerful than anyone can imagine, and it should stay that way for the good of all of the WWF. So yeah, just We've got a storyline here. It hasn't kicked off, like properly big time yet. I was hoping this would get a better rating. I wanted to kick the crowd off pretty well, and I thought The Undertaker would do better than this, actually, but 46 is all we get. The opening match, Jim Powers gets a victory. Now, he is injured because he got an injury in the Royal Rumble, but I did not want to change my plans here. Jim Powers gets his first victory with our kind of with our series. We're trying to get him over. This is the first one. So it didn't have much heat and it had embarrassing wrestling, but Jim Powers got the win in 9 minutes 4 seconds by pinfall with a running power slam. We had Skinner accidentally hit Dino Bravo. So Skinner and Jim Powers kind of had a war of words last week, and Skinner sort of came in and trying to attack Jim Powers. Didn't work. Hit Dino Bravo by accident. It was during the match. It wasn't the finish, but obviously gave Powers a little bit of an advantage there. 39 wrestling, 45 crowd, 46 overall. Yeah, we are starting now to get Jim Powers over. Hopefully. The news segment with a rating of 38, which is absolutely terrible. It's just some promos, really. Sean Mooney introduces promos from the Nasty Boys. No, he doesn't. They're the Natural Disasters, Repo Man, the Warlord, Big Boss Man, and Jimmy Hart. Just to sort of, use some storylines, get some storylines advanced. They've both lost heat, unfortunately, because the segment was really bad. It doesn't help that we've got such a bad backstage area. I might have to do something about that. I don't want to just go ahead and give everyone money, but you know what? I might just have to. I don't know. I don't know what to do, really, but yeah, that's pretty terrible. Then we've got the Big Boss Man in action against the Brooklyn Brawler. Gets an overall rating of 49, 41 for the wrestling, and 44 for the crowd. Boss Man gets the win in 6 minutes 56 by pinfall with a Boss Man slam. This match is just here because post-match we have the Repo Man come down and attack the Big Boss Man just to sort of advance this storyline again. Rating of 39, though, this is absolutely terrible. This series is not looking good at the moment. Rick Martel takes on Virgil. Slightly better rating, but the crowd is still unclear with regards to their heat. Rick Martel got the win in 8 minutes 51 by submission with the Boston Crab. 48 wrestling, 53 crowd, 53 overall. And then we have the WWF magazine segment. Lord Alfred Hayes introduces the magazine. And although he doesn't talk about the current magazine, he says that in next month's magazine, there will be an interview with Jim Duggan and Sergeant Slaughter. It's going to be published next month, where they condemn the attitude of the Beverly Brothers. I've completely spelt that wrong. They condemn the attitude of the Beverly Brothers due to their cheating and laziness and allowing others to help them get ahead in life. It's not the American way. This was just to advance that storyline. Rating of 47. Sid Justice is then interviewed by Gene Okerlund, and he says that he put a plan together that made sure Hogan wouldn't be in his way at the Royal Rumble. So did Sid Justice have something to do with Hogan being banned from the Royal Rumble? Maybe. He says people need to look upwards and see how corrupt people can be when dollar signs are flashing in their eyes. So maybe someone with some power was bribed, maybe? Rating of 51. Yeah, I do know where I was going with this, but now that Sid Justice is obviously leaving, yeah, I don't know. But basically, behind the scenes, exclusive for you guys now, we are going to have it where Jack Tunney, it's revealed that Jack Tunney took money from the $1 Million Man at the request of Sid Justice in exchange for protection to basically make a ruling that Hulk Hogan would be banned from the Royal Rumble. It's my way of getting someone else in charge of the WWF. Jack Tunney just didn't do it for me. When I was a kid, he was either like, okay, there he is, fine. But I think as far as the game's concerned, we need someone with a lot more charisma. The Legion of Doom now defend their tag team titles against the Nasty Boys. The Nasty Boys won this shot last week. They said Jimmy Hart cut a deal where if they won their match last week, they'd get a title shot. But LOD get the win here in 9 minutes 59. Hawk pinned Brian Knobbs with a Doomsday device. This was our storytelling match. We had Jimmy Hart distract Hawk, and he also distracted Animal, as of course he did because he's the manager. He's a heel manager. LOD, this is defense number 9 of their tag team titles. 56 wrestling, 60 crowd, 55 overall. And then our next news segment, Sean Mooney introduces promos. A little bit more to these ones. Bret Hart says that he supports Roddy Piper in getting a shot at the Intercontinental belt. But whatever happens, Bret wants his title back and he'll face whoever holds it. So, yeah, he believes that Roddy Piper does deserve a shot at the belt. The Mountie is saying, look, you guys don't call the shots. Me and my manager, we call the shots. I'm the one with the belt. But yeah, this was just to advance that storyline a little bit. Tatanka gave a self-promo. Randy Savage cut a promo on Flair just to try to get that storyline going, but really didn't work out. I'm going to have to rethink how I do these news segments. And the British Bulldog also cut a self-promo. We head into our main event with a really disinterested crowd. And it's Jake Roberts against Sergeant Slaughter. Terrible rating, which is a shame actually because the crowd got a 71. So good heat, decent wrestling. Jake Roberts got the win. I needed a decent main event. I need to play the game rather than try to book realistically. And I thought I need two strong people for a main event. But yeah, the crowd was so down on this one. I need to sort out the backroom situation because it's really what's doing us over. But Jake Roberts got the win in 14 minutes 4 seconds by pinfall with a DDT after distraction from Blake Beverly. And during the match, we also had Bo Beverly come in and distract Sergeant Slaughter. The storyline on this occasion gained heat, though, which was quite good. But yeah, awful match. I'm not really holding out much hope for this show. No, 52, it's terrible. Yeah, we don't have enough strong storylines. Do you know what? I don't want to do this, but I might just go ahead and sort the backstage out however way I can. We've got money. I might just throw some money at some people. It's not what I want to do. It's not what I'd normally do, but I'm really trying to tell a story here with Jim Powers, and I don't know, maybe. I might just try to carry on as normal. Financial report, well, at least we're making money. Popularity is going down. Yeah. Chris Walker's contract has expired. So has Louis Spicoli. Pat Tanaka leaves USWA. Typhoon is fully fit. And yeah, first run indication unhappy. So is Sky One. Yeah, we're in danger here. We're in a little bit of danger. Backstage is abysmal. I think I need to get rid of some people that have got negative influence. Unfortunately, we've got people like Animal, who's one half of our tag team champions. I don't really want to get rid of. Bossman, I don't want to get rid of. Brian Knobbs, again, another tag team wrestler I don't want to get rid of. Brutus the Barber Beefcake, friends of Hogan, of course, although he's only mildly negative. Colonel Mustafa, he's got to go, isn't he? He's got to go. I think I'm going to have him have one more match and he's going to lose to Jim Powers because let's get some more pop on Jim Powers. Yeah, there's a few more people we can think about getting rid of. I'm surprised El Matador is mildly negative. Yeah, I mean, we've got a lot of people that are positive. Is there anything I can do? I mean, I've already got things like, you know, a masseuse, hotels are organised. I mean, I've already done all that kind of stuff. I mean, I don't just want to go and throw money at people. That's not really the way I like to do things. It's kind of gaming the system and almost cheating to some extent. Why is Randy Savage? I don't want him leaving. Annoyed at the toxic backstage environment. Okay, off camera, I'm just going to have to think about getting rid of some of these people. Some of the people that are really negative. Colonel Mustafa, maybe I should just get rid of him now. Maybe. I mean, I know it'd be nice to transfer some of his pop over to Jim Powers, but do you know what? Oh, come on. All right. We'll leave it. I mean, it expires soon anyway. I'm just going to try and ride this out. It's a shame, actually. It's a real shame. But I hope you've enjoyed this episode. Please stick with it. I know it's not looking great at the moment, but I hope I'm telling some half-decent stories. In fact, just before I go, has Jim Powers, has the needle moved at all with that win? Still down as unimportant. Popularity, yeah, it's gone up quite a bit, though, from 32 now to 37. I've got to be pleased with that. Okay, yeah. Take care of yourselves, everybody. I'll see you all again soon. Goodbye.